All right, all right. So this is day 10 of my stretching challenge to see if I can successfully do a sit and reach where I touch my feet. So without further, so without further ado, here we go. Sit here. All right. Let's do this because these pants are a little snug. I don't want to hold me back. All right, shake the legs out. Oh man. All right, in 3, 2, 1, and oh,
Bruh.
not quite. So I am not quite at my feet. I'm closer. I'm closer. I'm further than I was. If I remember, I try to put a picture up of where I was compared to where I am now. Ooh. Ah man. Oh well. But here's the deal. So let me go ahead and finish up my stretching. At least do some more stretching. But anyway, darn it. But anyway, so did I accomplish my goal? No, I didn't. But one thing I will say that I did successfully was I did stretch 10 nights in a row, which is more than I was doing, which was like sporadic, mostly not doing it, except for a little bit after my workouts. So, but I've made some strides. And the main thing that I've learned is that if Sean wants to get flexible, then he has to embrace the pain. Well, I kind of knew that already, being fair, but I had to embrace the pain and I had to stretch often. I have to stretch often. Oh yeah. So that'd be good for me to talk about. This isn't going to be a long video. I'm not going to keep y'all on this time. But out of curiosity, I decided to look up the stretching routines, see what I could find out about the stretching routines of people like gymnasts. And I came across like a Reddit thread where a former, like somebody was asking former like gymnasts what their stretching routines look like. Gymnasts, dancers, people in similar areas of, sports or whatever you call them, activities. And so a couple of former gymnasts commented and they mentioned, that's good, but they mentioned that they how they did a lot of stretching and strength training. Both were doing a whole lot for the gymnast. And they were expected to stretch like an hour a day on their own. So they would stretch a lot during practice, maybe 15, 30 minutes, practice alone. But then they would be expected to stretch like an hour a day on their own. I'm getting better. But yeah, daily. And then some of them said that their coaches, and even martial arts too, but some of them said that their coaches would actually sit on them to, make their bodies kind of force their bodies into certain stretches, which seems like some of the most horrible stuff ever. It seems like that would be wrong to do, but they forced these kids into these stretches to like make their muscles kind of do whatever. And I think it's kind of dangerous just because our bodies will naturally sometimes recoil. It's like a nervous system thing to kind of protect you when they think that you're about to injure yourself. Yeah, I'm definitely getting more flexible. I just got to keep on going. But anyway, that's the kind of stuff they would do, like literally hours of stretching every week. Like I say, stretching interspersed in their daily workouts, their long daily workouts, because it's such a key component of everything that they do, as well as, stretching an hour or 30 minutes to an hour, maybe when they get home. So like, that's why people are able to do all these things with their bodies. It doesn't just happen. Oh, they just naturally flexible. You can be naturally flexible, but their flexibility comes from not just training, but extensive training, you know? So, so yeah. But anyway, what I'm going to do based on this challenge is my goal is just to keep on going. Now, I'm not necessarily going to record anything. Now, I will, though, once I get the sit and reach. Once I accomplish the sit and reach, and kind of share with you guys basically how long it took. And, but I've been wanting to make stretching a nightly routine of mine for a very, very long time. Stretching at night anyway is a good idea because it's when your muscles are probably their warmest. Now, they'll be warm after activity, but you've literally been active all day long. And so your muscles they have that warmth from moving so much the whole day. Let me get this stretch in. Okay, all right. I'm just gonna do the calves, and then, oh no, let me do this one. But anyway, I'm gonna do this stuff daily. That's my goal. And then report back to you guys. But stretching is just a good activity because, again, if you don't stretch, you're an average American with a desk job, you'll only get stiffer and stiffer as you age. And that can actually be pretty bad because you can get really bad posture, and you can get bent over and all that kind of stuff, and nobody really wants that. So I hope you guys will join me. I hope you'll join me with your nightly stretching. With my nightly stretching, rather. Let's stretch this out. But yeah, sometimes you gotta do some good old boring, just classic boring stuff. Just good old boring stuff. It's a lot of times the boring stuff that kind of like is some of the most beneficial. And if you want to get the best in life, you gotta sometimes do the most boring stuff, and the things that people not gonna always see, things that aren't glamorous. You got to do them day in and day out. Do it when it's raining. Do it when it's sunny. Do it when it's hailing outside. Do it when you don't feel like it. That's just kind of the way it is. It's like the older you get, the more you realize how true that is. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to do this stretch again after I turn the camera off. But, I hope you guys, if you haven't already subscribed, I hope you'll subscribe, that you'll continue to follow me as I post various fitness content and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I always say your doctor's not responsible for your health. You are. So always remember that. That means that there's certain actions that only you can take. Your doctor may or may not recommend things, but it's really up to you anyway. Thank you guys for watching and have a great day.